Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. You guys can hear me, right? Yeah, I can hear myself. So if I can hear myself, I know you guys can hear me. I'm sorry about that, guys. We had a little technical difficulty with the first slide, but I see everybody came back, so I'm happy. You guys are amazing. I'm still working on getting my voice back. Well, I'm not doing anything, but just waiting. I mean, there's nothing I can do. I'm not taking any medicine or anything. Like, I feel great, but my voice is still gone from when I was sick, and it's just a slow motion progress to get that voice back, probably because I'm using my voice every day. I'm not resting my voice. I've also been doing shows when I probably shouldn't have done shows. I don't care. I love you guys. I love this space, so I'm always excited to come here and give you guys my all. So anyway, we're back again. Yes. And I got a dirty case for you guys, and this is another one out of good old Florida, ladies and gentlemen. The thing is, I'm conflicted on this case because on one hand, this case feels like another miscarriage of justice that happens in Florida, where they have tough laws on the books against the pedophiles, but rarely do they get tough with the pedophiles. Does that make sense, guys? I don't know. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't. Does that make sense? It doesn't make any sense to me. Florida has some of the best laws on the books to punish these pedophiles, but rarely, yes, I said rarely do they ever use those laws that are on the books that they tout to the whole country. We're big bad Florida. We got tough rules on these pedophiles. Rarely do they ever use those laws against the pedophiles. But this one has me conflicted because they said something in their press release that really, it kind of made me think twice. And what they said was the reason why they made the deal, the sweetheart deal that they made with this female pedophile behind me, Alexis Von Yates, is because they didn't want to further traumatize the victim. And you guys know that we're all about the victims here on True Crime with Strategic. We love our victims. We respect our victims. We want to encourage our victims to get the help that they need so that one day they could be survivors, right? And then if they really work hard, they can go from being a victim and a survivor to them being a warrior. And what is a warrior? A warrior is somebody who now has that strength and that courage to fight for others, right? So once they said that they made this deal to protect the victim, I'm like, okay, how can I argue with that? But I still think that this lady got off really easy. So the lady behind me is was, before she lost her license, a registered nurse. And she was abusing her husband's 15-year-old son. This is also one of those cases when you look at it with a side eye, because it's like, did she get this sweetheart deal also because she's a woman? And time again, as we watch these cases, we see, let's live in reality, okay? The majority of these abusers are men. All right, we're not going to make this a gender war. We're not going to pretend like it's equal. The majority of these offenders are men, and some of the most brutal and dangerous offenders are men, like Stephen Stearns. He ended Madeline. He didn't just abuse Madeline. That happened out of Florida as well, but he also ended Madeline. He took her life. You don't often see that with women. They'll abuse, but they won't take the life of the people that they're abusing. But for what she did, one would think that she got a longer sentence than just 2 years in prison, 2 years on supervision, and 10 years. I don't know. She got like a real sweetheart deal. We're going to go through all of that. So we're going to jump into this. The father kind of sounded a little flaky to me too. Like during his statement, kind of sound like maybe he sympathized with her. I don't know, man. We're going to go through this together and we'll draw to our own conclusions together. But just please know that this is a sick case, and I think this woman should have got a much worse sentence than what she actually got. I think she got off easy. Now, before we get started, my voice is hurting me already. I got to bring it down a little bit. I got to relax my voice just a little bit. I'm going to sound like Billy D. Williams or something like that, because that's when my voice sounds comfortable when it's low. Till I get my voice back. I can't wait to get my voice back. Whatever. Before we get started, we got to say this. We are so close to 100,000 subscribers. We are less than 1,200 subscribers away from 100,000 subscribers. And we need you guys. We really need you to share this show with your friends and family. We need you to hit that like button. And we need you to engage in the chat if you can, so that this show could be shown to a wider audience. And when the show is done and it's finished, because you can't do it during lives, I discovered that, and I was educated by you guys, the audience. When the show is done, YouTube may decide to put a hype button on the show. And what the hype button is, it's almost like a cheat code to get us on that recommendation page, because creators like myself complain to YouTube for years that we don't know how to get on the recommendation page. We don't know what we have to do to be selected, to be showcased by YouTube, because we think we're putting out probative and quality content, but we're being ignored. Well, YouTube came up with the hype button. So if you press that hype button and enough people press it, it's going to put us on that recommendation page. We're going to be shown to a wider audience, and there's a good possibility we might get to 100,000 subscribers. So please do those few little things that we're asking you to do as we move forward in this show. Now, big shout out to Jamie Brooks with a 5 gift memberships. That's very kind to you, Jamie Brooks. So 5 of you folks are going to be lucky enough to be members of True Crime with Strategic for 30 days. And we hope that after that 30 days is up, you will continue your membership with the channel. Now, let's jump into this. Big shout out to Law and Crime Sidebar with Jesse Weber. He's going to really jump into this. We also have a ton of court documents we're going to put on a Patreon. So if you want to check out those court documents for Alexis Von Yates, go join our Patreon. The link is going to be in a link tree that you'll find in the chat that's being put out there by Nightbot, our robotic AI moderator. So check that out. But let's jump into this, because this is heartbreaking, man. This woman really took advantage of a little boy, and it's unfortunate that the law kind of sometimes, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's just my opinion, but I'm in that business. If you're new to the show, I am an active duty detective, and I investigate special victims cases. And it's very sad that it appears that when these crimes happen against young men, young boys, they're not valued as much as when it happens against young women, young girls. Now, that's my anecdotal opinion. So if you disagree with me, it's okay. If you think I'm wrong. But my anecdotal opinion, my lived experience, the things that I've seen, the cases I've been a part of, the things that I've observed with my own eyes, not scientific. I didn't take a poll. I didn't go out there and knock on everybody's door or call random people up and ask them what they think about the matter. I didn't do a study of all the different cases that were done in the nation or in my municipality, whatever. Just my anecdotal experience. It seems like it's okay when an adult woman, it's not that bad. It's not that traumatizing. It's okay when an adult woman takes advantage of a young boy. But it's not okay when it happens to a girl. And I just think that that's not right. It's just not okay, period. All right? It's not okay, period. She is just as much as a pedophile as Stephen Stearns. She deserves to go to jail for at least at minimum 15 to 20 years for what she did to that little boy. She should not be doing 2 years. She should not be on probation after that. It sends a wrong message. That if you're a woman, we can forgive you, but if you're a man, we're going to throw you away. We should be throwing both of them away. We should be throwing the woman away and the man away if they choose to prey upon children. Let's keep going.
Coming to me to a point that I don't want to talk to anybody, and I need to get a lawyer.
That is Alexis Von Yates, the Florida nurse who sexually abused her 15-year-old stepson. Well, now, newly released audio gives us a first-hand look at the tense moments when deputies arrested her, and interviews with the boy's father provide details about what he walked in on. We are revisiting this case with some context.
You gotta be careful with them people that got those wide eyes. I'm telling you. So if anybody in the chat has those wide eyes and you're like, no, Strategic, I got wide eyes and I'm not bad, I'm sorry. All right. It's not everybody. But I tend to see like people who got those wide eyes, like, they got issues, man. I'm not saying they pedophiles. I'm just saying they got issues. I'm very wary of wide-eyed people. Like me, I'll have wide eyes when I'm animated. But if I'm normal, I'm not sitting there like this. You know, I'm like this when I'm normal. So it's okay, like when you're showing expressions and emotion, your eyes can do whatever the hell they want to do. But I'm talking about those folks that's just normal, like, They do it for a reason. They got some stuff going on. Let's keep going. She got those wide eyes. If I see that and I'm single and I'm looking for a shorty and I see this woman, I'm like, nah, I'm a pass, baby. I'm good. Why? I'm such a nice lady. I would treat you so good. Like you got those wide eyes. I'm scared. Let's keep going.
That the public has never heard before. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Got to talk about this new audio that has come out in a case that we have been following very closely here on Sidebar. And what a case it is. A stepmother who pleaded guilty to sexually abusing her 15-year-old stepson. And what is
Nasty.
this new audio? In these recordings, the boy's father describes walking in on
Told you. Look at her eyes.
a scene that he says left him shocked. It left all of us shocked. And deputy's body cam also captures the very moment that the defendant here, Alexis Von Yates, was arrested.
Wow.
So here's the
this is really sad because, like, you're still in the innocence of this young boy. You know, you already sexualizing him and introducing him into unhealthy relationships. And think about the father. This father's a better man than me. I would have beat the bricks off. I under no circumstances do I condone the assaulting, the hating of women. I spent my entire career locking dudes up. You know, when I was on patrol before becoming a detective, I went to a ton of domestic violence jobs. Big shout out to whoever just gave us some coffee. We appreciate you. Thank you for hitting that link up there and giving coffee to the show. Thank you so much. I spent my entire career removing and arresting men who would abuse women. I do not condone hitting women, but if you're abusing a child, you're not a woman anymore. You're a monster. If I'm a man and I come into a woman abusing my son, I'm going to beat the bricks off of you. And I don't care what anybody says about that. I don't care. Oh my God, strategic, you're supposed to be a man of the law. Why would you say that? Well, if you don't like it, go somewhere else. If I come into the house and I see somebody abusing one of my children, I'm going to hurt you first before the law comes. I'm not going to take your life. Depends. If you're doing something unsafe that I could justify doing it, I'm going to do it. But if I can't justify it, because I don't want you to win, I don't want to go to jail for the rest of my life. I want you to go to jail. So if I can't justify putting you 6 feet under, I'm not going to put you 6 feet under. But I can justify hurting you. I'm going to hurt you. And I don't care whether you stand or you piss or you sit when you piss. If you're abusing my children, actually, you are in for some pain. Major pain. She looked too good in her prison jumpsuit right now. She needed a couple of black and blues for what she did to that man's boys. But let's keep going.
Story. Alexis Von Yates, a 35-year-old registered nurse, was accused of sexual abuse involving her teenage stepson during the summer of 2020.
Nasty.
Following an investigation and multiple interviews, she was arrested and she later faced court proceedings. This new audio does something different. It gives us a first-hand look at this father's account, and again, the tense moments of her arrest. We haven't heard this before. So to give you the full picture, let's just take a quick step back. We're going to recap the case from the beginning. This case starts off in the summer of 2024 in Ocala, Florida. At the center of it all is Alexis Yates, also known as Alexis Von Yates. She was married. She had 2 young children of her own.
Nasty.
She was a stepmother to a 15-year-old boy.
And you know the funny thing is, she would never want that to happen to her kids. She the one who would do everything to protect her own kids, but she won't do nothing. She would be the perpetrator against somebody else's kid. Isn't that crazy? I guarantee you. I guarantee she's a mother of her own kids. It's not like he found some single mother who doesn't know what it is to make children and to want to protect those children from the evils of this world. He found a woman that had her own children, so she understood what it meant to be a protector and a nurturer, and she defied all of that for her own sick, diabolical, carnal desires. Unbelievable.
That teen came down from Washington, D.C. to stay with his dad, Alexis, and his half-siblings for the summer break last year. And then, according to an arrest affidavit, something truly unthinkable happened. On July 30th, 2024, the Marion County Sheriff's Office got an anonymous tip. A man had allegedly walked in on his own wife, Alexis.
All right, hold on here. Big shout out to David. David been with the show for a very long time. He's also one of the moderators. You know, I don't know how David feels about this. because sometimes as men we could be, how should I say, brainwashed by society and thinking that these things aren't a big deal. But David said when he was 14 or 15, he was seduced by his stepmother. Well, I'm going to tell you this, David, that lady is a monster. She's a monster, and I hope that she's no longer on this earth. It is no excuse for a grown woman to abuse a young child, a child of 14 or 15 years old. And I'm sorry that happened to you, David. I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart, brother. Now, big shout out to Cara Kiz, who gave us $30 from, I think, Australian money. I don't know. That's probably like $1 million in US dollars. I don't know. She said, enjoy the coffee to the whole crew and this atrocity. Why made me so angry? How dare you do this to this young man? Thank you for your time, darling. You are so appreciated. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And thank you once again for the support and for your generosity. And Rockman with a $5 super chat says, glad I caught another live. True Crime Strategic guys. This case is sick. I was that boy when I was a preteen. It's crazy how overlooked this is today. Still pressing. This is another man who said he was abused when he was a young man. And that's messed up, man. It's really messed up, and it happens a lot. It happens more so than people think because there's a stigma about male masculinity that it's supposed to be okay. That it's okay that you more of a man if you do something with an older woman. And a lot of these female predators play on that. They're like, I'm not doing nothing wrong. You got raging hormones. I'm helping you out. And you special and you mature and you a man's man. That's why I'm attracted to you. Our society is backwards because if you take a man and he says the same thing about a young girl, it's going to be automatically viewed as atrocious and horrible. But when women do it, it's somehow not as bad. It is bad and it is damaging and it's traumatizing. And guess what? It is grape. You guys know I can't say the real word on YouTube, but you guys know what I mean. Point blank, period, end of story. Let's keep going. Big shout out to all the men in the chat who have been victims. We hear you, and we appreciate you, and we love you. Let's keep going.
His son, her 15-year-old stepson, having sex. Can you imagine what that must have been like?
Yep.
But when investigators showed up to question Alexis's husband about that shocking allegation, he denied it.
What?
The body cam footage
What?
captured this exchange.
We received a report.
The father denied it? What a beta male. What a beta male. I know you're going to watch this. Let me tell you, I know that people watch this show. It's not because it's special. Not that many people have covered this story. And when you're involved with something, you're curious to hear what everybody has to say about it. So that it's not like the father's going to watch this show because he's a fan of this show or this is a large show. He's going to watch this show because I'm covering his life story. So, Dad, when you watch this, understand that this other man on the other side of the country is saying you are a beta male. You are a beta male and a loser, that you lied for this monster. I don't care if you started cooperating down the line. I don't care if the next sentence that Jesse Weber says is that, well, he changed his mind. He started cooperating. He was instrumental in the conviction of this woman. The moment those cops asked you, you stood up for yourself and your wife and not for your son. You are a coward and a beta male. And you could take that to the grave, Dad. Let's keep going.
That something happened when I was at your house between on the 26th between and your wife.
Okay.
And that you allegedly walked in on them.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
No, that's not true. I can't curse. Beta male. Beta male. You watched your son getting raped by your woman, and now you choose to protect her. You are a beta male.
So our report came in, sexual battery, that you walked in with them in the middle of sexual acts.
No, that is 100% false.
100% false, he said. the mother of this child, because the child didn't live with him. His son didn't live with him. The mother of his son, his son was visiting for the summer. The mother of his son needs to file for 100% full custody, which she probably already has if he's just visiting for the summer. And he needs to have supervised visits, if any visits at all, based solely on this exchange right here. Solely on this exchange right here, this man should never see his son again. Beta male.
Okay.
So, I know he's a very messed up kid. I really haven't been a part of his life for very long, but
You haven't been a part of his life very long. So you see, that's defendant. He's like, he's Jen Soto. He's Jen Soto. He's this kind of kid. I couldn't understand what he's saying because the volume's really low. Let me bring it back. He said something kind of kid. I haven't been in his life that very long. He's a trashy human being. This guy's trash. Why haven't you been in your son's life? Did you just find out that he's your son, or have you been a deadbeat and you just had a change of mind recently that you want to be a part of your son's life? This guy is trash, man. He's just as bad as her, if you ask me, because he's not a protector. Let's keep going.
Report came in, sexual battery, that you walked in with them in the middle of sexual acts.
no, that is 100% false.
Okay.
So, I know he's a very messed up kid. I really haven't been a part of his life for very long, but if there's anything like this, I probably should, I don't know.
Yeah. So right now, all that's the only information we have. You know, we don't have anything coming directly from him per se. But it did mention that you walked in on them.
No. That's
Okay.
definitely
Wow.
And,
Okay.
I don't know, is there anyone I can know who said that, or?
It's anonymous.
Yeah, it's anonymous, so we don't even know.
The call came in through a line called Crime Stoppers, which is like for anonymous tips. We honestly assumed you made the report, or something along those lines, but we don't have any information other than, like she was saying, that's what the report said.
Wow.
Okay.
Which is why we're actually at your house right now. You used to live at the.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
We're me and.
I think he said his kid is messed up. I really think he called his own kid, his own son, messed up. He said he's messed up and I haven't been in his life that long. That's crazy, man. That's dirty work, bro. Dirty work.
The CPI are currently sitting in your driveway right now, actually. We were coming to come talk to you and talk to but you don't know anything about anything like this.
Now, we wanted to bring this case to you, and the reason that we can do that is because of the support.
All right, so let's go ahead and just fast forward real quick because they're doing that commercial.
I believe so.
Who made the accusations?
I believe that.
Made the accusations? Okay.
When did he make those accusations? Prior to this?
No.
Okay,
This is all-
so this is all brand new. So there's nothing prior that he mentioned.
No.
Okay. Okay. But you're thinking it might have come from.
I really honestly have no idea who would have
Okay.
honestly done something like that. You know, it's a really bizarre, embarrassing scenario that
Yeah.
I don't even entertain.
What accusations did you make?
I'm not sure. I would probably get a lawyer before I said anything else.
Well, you're not under investigation right now. I mean, or no one's really.
He said he wants to get a lawyer. Do you guys hear that? I'd rather get a lawyer before I say anything else. This guy was supporting this woman. He was protecting her. He's nasty. He's nasty. Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
Under investigation. It's just a matter of this report came in, and at this point, it's an.
Really, you should be charged for not with danger to the welfare of a child or something, because he's not cooperating with police. He's protecting the abuser. I don't understand this. I don't understand what's wrong with Florida. that they keep letting these pedophiles run loose. Like I said in the beginning of this show, they got some of the toughest laws against pedophiles, but they don't use them. They don't use them. It's crazy. They don't use them, but let's keep going.
This report is going to have to get seen regardless to speak to him. And then once that's done, it's a matter of either, determining whether the claims are founded or unfounded. And from what you're saying, it's more than likely unfounded.
I believe so.
Right. I mean, if you don't want to tell me, you don't want to tell me, but it go a long ways as far as helping us figure out if we can write down what told you, and then we can go to and it says, I didn't make that report, or gives us verbatim what you're telling me he told you, we can kind of rule it out and kind of say, okay, we probably made this report, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, I understand that, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, kind of freaking, my heart's racing a little bit, but I would think that the implications that could come of this, I don't believe that anything happened.
Okay.
He's such a liar because he walked in on it. He's lying to police. He's giving a false statement. Rockman with a $2 super chat says, watching from Florida, you're right. They don't use them. And he's talking about these very tough laws that Florida has for people who abuse children, but they don't charge these people. They always charge them and then they drop the charge down like they did with her. She had intercourse with this young man, and rather than them give her the top charge, they knock it down to some lower level charge that she pretty much gets no jail time. She needs to go to prison forever. This is crazy. And the father needs to go to jail too. It's unbelievable. Let's keep going. Listen to this guy. He's protecting an abuser.
But the key factor is it mentioned that you walked in on them when they were on the couch.
No, I did not see any type of physical action whatsoever.
So as you just heard, Mr. Yates flatly denied the allegation, calling it 100% false, described his son as troubled with a history of making up, quote, crazy stuff.
Wow.
The thing is, detectives would later reach out to Yates again after his wife's...
How do you allow yourself to be coochie whipped to that point where you choose some wide-eyed psychopath over your own son? You are a weak man. You are, Mr. Yates, you are a weak man. You let this pedophile coochie whip you when you put her before your own flesh and blood, bro. What a loser, man. What a loser.
Arrest. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But when investigators first spoke with the teen, what he revealed was chilling. He said his father worked nights as a lineman. So while his dad was gone, Alexis put the younger kids to bed. Then she and this teen would stay up. They would play video games. They would watch a movie and even use her THC vape pen. So at around 1 a.m., the teen said that Alexis started making inappropriate sexual comments, allegedly telling him she was horny, that she hadn't had sex in 2 weeks. He told investigators she'd been making sexual jokes in front of him for about a week already, and he admitted he was infatuated with her. From the affidavit, quote, thinking about all the statements the suspect had made to him about being horny, he decided to ask her if she wanted to cuddle.
Now check this out, guys. Don't get this twisted 1 second. Do not get this twisted 1 second, because that little boy said that he was infatuated. What she did was groomed him, because young men have emotions. That's how we have hormones. That's how we're built. We're built to want to have intercourse once we get towards that puberty age. And it's supposed to be adults who are supposed to help us learn how to moderate those feelings, how to be civil with those feelings, and how to make good choices with those feelings. Instead, she slowly groomed him by starting out walking slowly down that grooming road. You look good, you look nice, you're handsome. She was grooming him, getting him high, making him smoke THC from her vape pen, getting him outside of his mind, making him feel comfortable, dumbing herself down to his age where she's playing video games with him and stuff like that. This was straight up grooming. There's no difference with what she did versus what Stephen Stearns did, minus the fact that she didn't kill him when she was done. She groomed this little boy. So yeah, he had every right to have these screwed up mixed emotions because he had an adult woman who is a professional of seduction, right? Adult women know how to seduce. Adult men know how to sweet talk, right? We are masters of our craft because we've been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years. She used that experience in life to seduce and coerce and ultimately victimize this young boy. She should be in jail doing at least 15 years. Let's keep going.
The suspect stated she thought that might be weird. He lay on top of the suspect as she lay with her head down the armrest of the couch, and she commented something to the effect of, "Oh, you're just going right for it, huh?" The affidavit continues, the suspect and child victim kissed. As the suspect began escalating, the suspect said, "Oh man, I wish you were 18 because you're not old enough." Now, despite that statement, the boy said things quickly escalated into sexual acts, including intercourse. And then it all blew up. The affidavit says, suddenly the door began to unlock. The front door is directly in front of the couch. The child victim recalled running to the bathroom as his father entered the home, seeing his wife with no bra on and a blanket covering the lower half of her body. The child victim's father saw the child victim running to the bathroom and yelled, "What the bleep is going on?" as he threw things. The boy said his father yelled at him, and his wife ordered his son to pack up and drove him to his grandparents' home. On the way, he bought beer and, according to the affidavit, told his son he had ruined his life and never to contact him again.
What a loser. You chose this woman over your son. You told your son, a 15-year-old, that he ruined your life and to never contact him again. Oh my God, bro. What do we need this guy for? We need this guy in our society? What do we need him for? He is worthless to us, man. This guy, wow. Are you kidding me? Wow. I gotta be careful what I say. I don't want nobody to hurt this guy. I'm sorry, okay? He has value in our society. He's a fellow human being. He has value. Please, nobody bother this guy. Nobody's do nothing to this guy. It is what it is. It's not gonna solve anything. But damn, bro, you a worthless guy. You are worthless, man. You're a worthless human being. Damn. Wow. Let's have a thought exercise for a second. What she did to him was bad. But do you guys think that maybe, just maybe, I'm going out on a limb and I'm asking you, I'm not saying I agree with it, but do you guys think that quite possibly what he did to his son might have been worse? What do you think the son might be able to heal his trauma more quickly from? Do you think he might be able to heal more quickly or from what she did to him versus what his own dad did to him? I don't know. I'm going to take a poll. Somebody made a good point. Ruder says both are bad. I'm going to take a poll and we're going to have those three options. Because I don't know, man. Something in my spirit says that what she did was evil. But what he did was just diabolical because he was supposed to be the savior and the protector. And in the moment of this boy's profound weakness, he threw him away. He threw his own son away. She had a duty, a moral duty as an adult and a human being to protect that boy. But this man had a biological duty. He had a spiritual and a heavenly duty to protect that boy because that's his biological father. This woman could be a stranger tomorrow, if anything. She could come and go. That's just his wife. That's not his mother. I just feel like the father just did, if it was like 50-50, I think the father's like 51% and the pedophile is 49%. I just feel like he had a greater duty as a father, and I feel like he failed this boy. But let's keep going.
What happened next made things worse. The affidavit says the teen tried to tell his cousin and his mother about this abuse, but instead, multiple family members allegedly discouraged him.
Wow.
His grandfather allegedly said, "You better not be telling them what happened."
Oh, these some nasty
The boy told
hillbillies.
investigators, "I realized that my man's man, blue-collar father, seeing what happened to his son, did not face the sexual abuse of his child like a man." According to the affidavit, Alexis even called the boy after this incident and told him she wished his father hadn't caught them. So then you go to November of 2024, and that's when deputies arrested her. When confronted, she refused to talk without a lawyer, but then made unprovoked statements like this one included in the affidavit. Since the Department of Children and Families had closed their case, she was in the clear.
First of all, I just gotta say, these people are nasty, hillbilly, disgusting folks. That the grandfather's telling him not to come forward, the grandmother's telling him not to come forward, the cousins is saying don't come forward, the dad ain't saying don't come forward, the pedophile saying, "Damn, I wish the father wouldn't have caught us," and she probably saying that because she wanted to finish the deed. They're all disgusting people, man. Let's keep going.
Saying the incident was so accusatory, attempting to put blame on the child victim. So deputies, they arrive at Alexis's home on November 6, 2024. And what followed was incredibly tense. From her initial confusion to immediately bringing up her lawyer and then to outright refusing to answer questions. And their body cams captured the audio of that exchange.
Yeah, hey, I'm Detective Ofsted with the Sheriff's Office. Are you Alexis?
Yes.
Hey, I was hoping to speak with you.
Okay.
If you have a moment. Are you able to come speak with me?
Oh, my kid's sleeping. I just got woke up and I gotta take him to school like in a little while. What's this about?
Is your husband here?
He works out of town.
Oh, is he out of town right now?
Yeah.
Shoot. Okay.
Why? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm not quite exactly sure, all the details right now, but there was something I was hoping to speak with you about. Someone able to watch the kids maybe while we talk?
Not really. I have my mom watch the kids like Monday, Tuesdays, and I just got off work. I'm a nurse, so I just got off work like last night. So I just was getting my sleep. Does this have to do with? I already have a lawyer. Is this about?
Yeah, it has to do with. I think everybody deserves to give their side of things.
Okay.
Again, that's what I was hoping to speak with you about.
I don't. It's very accusative and very damning to me.
Accusative. Is she a nurse? Okay.
Point that I don't want to talk to anybody, and I did get a lawyer, and I already have. I could give her your number. I've already.
So you don't want to talk to me about it?
I don't want to talk to anybody about
This
it.
deputy's going to place you under arrest for lewd and lascivious.
All right, because as soon as she said she had a lawyer, you're technically supposed to stop talking to her. Like, that's it. That's an invocation. So, he didn't do nothing wrong, but I'm just letting you guys know, you got to be very careful with that as a detective. If somebody's on a record like that saying they want a lawyer, you like body cameras on and all kinds of stuff. I'm not saying that you do anything different if you didn't have those things. I'm just saying, especially when you have those things, the moment they say, I got a lawyer, you're like, okay, that's it. We're done. I'm not going to double ask you so you don't want to talk to me. No, you said you had an attorney. We're done. Because everything that they say after that is not admissible in court because it's basically, it's not protected, but they said that they want an attorney. Now, they could make excited utterances or spontaneous utterances, depending on who's saying it. Some people, one time I told my lieutenant excited utterance, he was like, no, that's not a thing. It's spontaneous utterance. I was like, no, both of them are a thing. You could say it both ways. But anyway, maybe make a spontaneous utterance or something like that. It's possible that you could use that in court. depending on if you said anything or, you know, what, because you could say things that elicit a spontaneous utterance and then it's not going to be admissible in court. So you got to be very careful with that stuff. Like if somebody asks for an attorney and then they're in the back seat of your patrol car as you're driving them, or your car as you're driving into the station, you're not saying anything to them, and they're like, "Yeah, I did it. I don't care." Then you can use that in court. But if they ask for an attorney and in the back seat you say, "Well, how you feeling today, man? I know you've been through a rough day. You feeling okay back there? You good?" And then they're like, "Yeah, I'm good, man, but these charges got me scared. You know, I did it, but I don't want to do a lot of time." You kind of elicited that statement from them. That's not going to be admissible in court. Let's keep going.
Battery. We'll figure out something with the kids, okay? And I'll be right back, okay?
Morning, man. My name is David Chiggy, the Marion County Sheriff's Office.
Do you have someone that can watch your kiddo?
Can I talk to you? This is just.
You definitely can talk with me, but unfortunately,
But you are going to arrest me today?
See, this is the problem. This is why you don't have these conversations at people's door. And Florida likes to do this a lot. And I think it's bad practice. We saw this a lot in the Madeline Soto case. And I told you guys, you could go in the archives. I'm like, why are they doing this? Why are they talking to people in their element? You don't talk to people in their element unless they're a witness or something like that. When it's a perpetrator, you bring them down to the station house. You know she's a perpetrator. You had probable cause to arrest her. That's why the moment she said she had an attorney, you told the deputy to place her under arrest. That means that you already knew it had to be a interview that had to be done under Miranda. So if you're gonna do a Miranda interview, then you need to bring her down to the station house. She's going to say, why? Just say, we'll talk about it when we get down there. There's nothing in the Constitution that says, I got to tell you exactly what I'm charging you for at this moment right now. For tactical reasons, I could say, no, I'm not going to tell you right now. I am going to tell you eventually, but I'm not going to tell you right now. So, ma'am, we're here investigating a matter. I'm going to ask you to come. Do you want to come down to the station? Let's let her come voluntarily. And she goes, oh, no, I can't come right now. Well, you know what? We're going to have to bring you down. So put your hands behind your back. What is this for? We'll talk about it when we get to the station house. You get down to the station house, you put her in the interrogation room, you unhandcuff her, you give her a glass of water, then you tell her, before I talk to you, I got to read you your rights. You read her Miranda, and then you say, do you want to talk to me? I guarantee you're going to have a much better chance of her speaking to you at that point because she wants to know what the hell is going on than if you talk to her at her door where she has the power. She's in her element. She's on her property. She's in her world. You need to take her out of her world and bring her into your world so you can remove that power and that control from her. But yet, every single day, these Florida deputies and detectives are doing the exact opposite of what is best practices. I didn't make this up. This is what was taught to me by a long line of really experienced detectives from around the world and around the country because we all train together. So I don't know what training these detectives in Florida are going to because they're certainly not coming to the trainings that I'm going to. But let's keep going.
You know, you don't want to talk to me, I get that. But with the amount of information I have, that's...
Can I please...
So, I have quite a few conversations with different people. I have quite a few phone calls that have been recorded.
Nobody was here at all.
Wait,
me.
What is he doing talking to her? She just asked for an attorney. I don't understand what's going on. I'm so confused. I don't... The only thing he should be saying to her is what her charges are, and that is it. He didn't even get her to revoke her invocation of an attorney. Like, I don't understand this. Do they have like a different constitution down there?
Watching our kids and a child
like I said,
made words to me.
There was something you said there, and I want to be sure, okay? Because if you don't want to talk to me without a lawyer, I respect that. But you just told me that you don't want to talk to me without a lawyer, and now you want to
because
talk to me.
it's so... This is just so disruptive to my everyday life, all the way down to my children. I don't want to leave
Absolutely.
my children.
And I'm not here because I think you're a rapist. If I thought you were a rapist, I'd put a warrant out for you.
This is an unconstitutional conversation. He's being coercive right now, and he's using his deception, but he's using it at the wrong time because she's already asked for an attorney. I feel this is an unconstitutional conversation right now. This is my opinion, and you guys know I don't defend these pedophiles. I don't want to help her. But I feel that this is, to me, this is teetering on as unconstitutional. She's already invoked an attorney. So what will we do if we want to see if she's willing to rescind this? You have to clearly get her to say, like, listen, you got to clearly get her to say, I don't want an attorney anymore. Let's keep going.
To talk to you about it, right? But I have to be really clear before we go any further, because you have said you really don't want to talk to me without a lawyer. Is that
I just think it's just so,
right.
What is going on here is just so it's just so bizarre to me. I can't even.
And that's why I really wanted to hear your side of things.
All right, so I think he's trying to clear it up right now. I don't like his style, though, but I think he's trying to clear it up. Let's see.
Unfortunately, we can't be getting a lawyer out here right now, so I'm not going to talk to you about it if you don't want to talk to me about a lawyer in front of me, because we do have that right.
So, in order to talk to you about it.
And somebody said, what's up with the audio? These Florida detectives, they be putting recorders in their pocket. They really do. They like record these whole conversations in their pocket. I guess that's admissible in their state. Every state has different privacy laws and stuff like that. But that's why you could barely understand their conversations, because they have voice recorders in their pockets. Let's keep going.
I have to talk to you without my lawyer.
No. We're just not going to talk about it. Because you said you'd rather have your lawyer present. And I respect that.
So what do we do now then?
We're going to figure out someone that can come watch your kids, but you are going to be placed under arrest right now.
So after she's placed in handcuffs, Yates began to insist that she had already been cleared of what she was being accused of, which was mentioned in the affidavit, and expressing concern.
And you can't. This is an educational moment for you guys, because, you know, part of this show is educating you guys on how the law works. You can't come off as coercive, like, well, if you want a lawyer, I'm not going to talk to you at all, you know, after she's asked for an attorney, because then if she rescinds asking for an attorney, her attorney will be able to argue that you coerced her. It's like, yo, you showed up at her house. Her kids are in the house sleeping. They're underage. They're minors. There's nobody to watch them. It's just her and these kids. Then you're placing her under arrest after she asks for an attorney, and then you're like, well, if you don't talk to me, if you ask for an attorney, I can't talk to you. And so she felt like she had to rescind getting an attorney so she could try and figure out what's going on in the hopes of reversing the arrest so that she could stay home with her kids. You got to be very careful with this stuff. Let's keep going.
Over her other young son seeing her in handcuffs.
Can I just ask you what is going to happen now? Because at this point, I truly thought DCF came here and they went through everything with me, and at that time it was just so embarrassing and unbelievable what was going on. And then I received a letter and they were saying, we are done with your case, you could rest easy. And I know that those
less seen. Give me a moment, I'm going to bring the vehicle closer so you're not seen by
Thank
anything.
you.
Right?
I feel like I'm going to throw up at any moment. This is
Yeah,
unbelievable.
I think you have every right to be frustrated.
I'm not frustrated. There's a lot of things. I'm honestly, it's truly unbelievable. I don't know. There's frustration is one with the kid. What has been said, I just can't believe the amount of disadvantage that has been. But what I'm saying is, so I know you guys are different departments. So
yeah, they're not law enforcement. They're just a civil entity that has to deal with children and families and elderly.
Okay.
And so what we are is a law enforcement agency, so completely different roles. So their role would be to determine, and again, this is just speaking not about your case, this is speaking generally about just how we work. Their role is to determine if there's dangers to children immediately present, see if there's action that has to be taken, and then to occasionally offer services, right? And then law enforcement, we investigate if there's violations of statute.
Right.
So it's a completely different thing, though. We do often work hand in hand. I I can understand why.
Big shout out to MM Claire, 19 Super Chat says strategic. I adore your passion. Thank you for the support, MM Claire. Really appreciate it. And Vicky Israel is now a recruit member. Welcome to the family, and we appreciate you. And Vicky Israel gave a $5 Super Chat, says they both need to go to jail for a long time. You are amazing. We do appreciate you, Vicky, and MM Claire for supporting the channel. Let me see if I missed anybody. I want to show some love to you guys. That's about it. We're caught up. We're doing a good job today. We're doing a much better job than we usually do because there's so much going on in the chat. This show has grown so much. If you're watching the show right now, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. There's going to be at least a good portion of you guys who've just popped into the show out of nowhere and you haven't subscribed to the show yet. All we do here is give a voice to the voiceless. I'm an active duty detective. I'm bringing my experience, almost 19 years, on October 16th. That's right, on October 16th. Let me get a yay. October 16th will be my 19th year of service, boy. Yes. I've been in law enforcement my entire adult life. This is all I know. This is I eat, sleep, and breathe locking up PD files, guys. So this is what I do for a living. This is my passion. This is my joy. And in my free time, I come on YouTube and I share that passion and joy with you beautiful people. So please hit that like button, support the channel, and help us get to 100,000 subscribers. Let's do it.
That would be a little confusing. Again, I want to respect your right, and I don't want to talk to you more about this. You keep trying to talk to me about it. I'm not trying to be rude. I just really am trying to respect you. That's all I'm trying to do. I know that this whole process just feels disrespectful, just in general. Being arrested, right? Not being free to leave, being taken somewhere you didn't want to go, having to have someone come here. But it's a process we have to go through. It's not like, everyone wants to be, dragging everybody through all this. It's the process. So I appreciate your patience in the meantime. We can get her in the back for now, and then...
We have Carmen in the moment. Carmen.
Somebody in the chat who said that. Kalisa Cat says, I feel this is coercive. I don't think, listen, we're getting this stuff. I don't think any of this would be admissible in court. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that she pled guilty because it had excellent witness. All right. I think the father started cooperating eventually. We're going to get there, but the father's going to start cooperating eventually. And then you have the son who is a victim and who's also speaking up for himself. So they have more than enough to convict her. And I think that's why she pled guilty. But I'm telling you guys right now, these statements are not admissible in court. He's being too coercive in his attempt to get her to rescind her invocation of counsel. The conversation should be over. She should just be getting processed right now and taken to the county jail. I would never use the tactics that he's using right now in order to coerce her into giving me a statement. That ship has sailed. If anything, what he should have did is contact the county attorney, and the county attorney could now come in and attempt to interview her directly and see if she's willing to rescind by being a fresh person talking to her, or get one of his colleagues. I've done that before, where a person is like, you know what, I think I want an attorney. We're like, okay, I'm done. And then the district attorney will then bring them up and say, hey, listen, just want to know, are you sure you don't want to speak to us? You can rescind if you like, but it's up to you. And then the person make that choice if they want to or not. Most of the time they don't. They say, no, I still want an attorney. But you got to get a second person in there. It can't be you, who she already told you she wants an attorney. So he's doing too much. He's too coercive. This would never have stand in court. But let's keep going.
Okay, and then is kiddo asleep in there? Are they going to be all right for now? Is he going to be all right for now?
I don't know. He might even be up looking for me in the house.
How old is he?
He's almost 4. He's 3.
And the last thing I want for him to see is mom in handcuffs.
That's what I'm saying.
So let's get you in the back of the car. He'll probably be okay for 5 minutes or so, right?
I can't just stand here till my mom gets
You can.
here.
I just don't want him to see. I guess you can just
I think
hang out like
me here is better than me in a cop car.
Absolutely.
I don't know. The whole thing is just unbelievable. I don't know what to say. I can't.
All we can do.
I cannot comprehend
this.
All we can do is take it one step at a time. You know, I don't want to make this any more difficult for you than it has to be, right? So
Now, as I mentioned earlier, detectives speak with the child's father a second time, again, to better understand what had happened that night. And this is what he told them.
Well, this is Frank.
Hey, Mr. Yates. This is Detective Austin with the Sheriff's Office. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Hey, sorry to bother you. Do you have a moment to talk?
I do.
So I've talked to quite a few people. I think you probably know what I'm calling about.
Yes, sir.
It's my understanding that you, though you weren't wanting to talk about it at the time that the Department of Children and Families came by, you were willing to talk about the incident. Should your son go on record about it? He's gone on record in some detail. I was really hoping that I could.
Whoa. Hold on here. This is big because it looks like this douchebag dad, I'm sorry, you have yet to redeem yourself to me, is going to now cooperate. But I'm pausing the show at this pivotal moment because somebody was exceedingly generous to the show, and we appreciate that, and we definitely need to support. And I think it's awesome that this person did this. Rochelle Sean just gave us $100 super chat. We don't see that too often on this show because we're a small show. You know, these big shows, you see that stuff all the time. On a show this small, that is huge. Thank you so much, Rochelle, for showing love to the channel and believing in our mission and supporting us on our endeavor to give a voice to the voiceless. That is so kind of you, so generous, and that is not a small amount of money, and we do appreciate you. I hope everybody who's in the chat will thumbs up Rochelle and show her that love and support that super chat she just gave us. And wow, thank you so much, Rochelle. Let's keep going. It's awesome.
How painful, or difficult it is to talk about. I was wondering if I could speak with you about what happened that night.
So as far as right now, is that like something that's like an official or on the record type thing, or?
What do you mean? Oh, no, I'm not going to swear you in front of me or anything. I did want to talk about what happened though.
Right. But I mean, is it like a recorded statement or?
Why does he care about that? Why is he still trying to protect her? Why does he care that the police are taking a recorded statement or not? This guy is horrible. He really is. He's trash. And so we wonder why his wife is graping his 15-year-old. He's a trashy human being who picked a trashy human being. They're both from the same ilk. They both are fruit from that same forbidden tree that just fell on the ground, that's rotting on the floor. They're both rotten fruit on the floor. That's why they attracted each other. He's the apple, she's the worm. He's the rotten apple and she's the worm. Unbelievable. He's still worried about protecting her.
Be documenting what you said, for sure.
Right. Yeah, and sorry I missed your call. I didn't know. I worked a night shift last night. I'm out of town, and I was sleeping. I had my phone on airplane mode. And
great idea.
Obviously woke up to a bunch of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously there's some serious implications to this.
I bet you this beta male probably slept with her after. I'm not saying right after. I'm not trying to be super salacious. I'm just saying a lot of time passed since him catching her abusing his son and the police getting involved. I guarantee you they have been intimate in between that time. How could you even sleep with this woman knowing what she did to your son? I have no proof of that, no evidence. Just my intuition based off of how I'm gleaming this man character is. I guarantee you that happened. He is a piece of work. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to say, really.
I mean, all you can say is the truth. I think that is the most important thing.
Right.
I mean,
Rochelle is out of here. Thank you so much, Rochelle, for supporting the channel. She's going to catch the rest of it on the replay, but we appreciate you. She said Southern Cal got love for me. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you.
what happened the last night that your son was in your home?
So basically I came home after working a night shift, and I walked in and seen someone in a compromising position, and I didn't see anything like, definitive, I guess you could say. And she has her story, and I can't really say. It's just going off of what she said kind of stuff. So,
Did she have clothes on?
at the time, no.
Okay. Was he in the room when you walked in?
Yes.
Did he have clothes on?
Yes.
Fully clothed, or?
Good point, Erica B, moderator. She says someone. You saw your wife. He said someone. That's your son that you saw with your wife in a compromising position. He tried to distance them. Somebody say he's in denial, but he doesn't have the right to be in denial. He doesn't have that right. You are a father. You are supposed to be a protector. You don't have a right to be in denial. After the show, after we're done with this, for the members in the Patreon, I'm going to share with you guys. This case is now closed. It's a case that I did when I was in corrections. I'm going to share with you guys the consequences of a father in denial. It is a truly remarkable and sad and just heartbreaking story of a case that I did when I was in corrections as a sex crimes and senior investigator before becoming a police officer and then a detective. This story will blow your mind. I'm going to do this story for the Patreon and the members. Maybe I'll do it tonight. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I will not forget. This story will blow your mind, and it's very similar. It's a mirror image to this. Mirror image to this. It will blow your mind. Let's keep going.
It happened really quick. I wasn't really, obviously you don't expect to come home to anything like that.
Absolutely. No, and I understand for so many reasons why this is such an uncomfortable conversation. The last thing I want to do is, make people uncomfortable, but unfortunately in situations like this, it's really important.
Right.
And I don't need to tell you that. I know you're a grown man. You understand that.
And so even though this time the father revealed that he did in fact witness something, he kind of keeps his statements vague, remaining seemingly cautious.
Yes.
She has a lawyer and, is fully aware of the accusations and whatnot. So, I don't know if you can tell me anything as far as what's going on, or.
I certainly can tell you a little bit, but I want to make sure I understand. I mean, what is her story that she told you?
Basically, that she was in a towel, went out to the living room to get her phone late at night, and he had ripped the towel off of her.
Woo.
And that's when I came inside.
Classic. So she's now accusing his son of rape. Classic. You know what? We don't do the race thing on this channel, but she looked like the type that say, and a black guy jumped in the window and he tried to rape me too. I'm telling you. She tried to blame her son, her son-in-law. I don't know, not son-in-law, her stepson. That's what it is. She tried to blame her stepson of ripping the towel off of her as soon as the husband came in the house. Unbelievable.
All in that small window there, I guess you could say.
Okay. Well, it's my understanding she told some other people a different story. Do you know anything about maybe other statements she would have made?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Do you have
the biggest thing is if something is to basically, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm being, I don't know what you would say, accused or.
Accused of what, my friend?
I have 2 small kids. I'm sure you know. If something was to happen to her, I don't, I would be the only parent. I'm just.
So you don't want nothing to happen to her because you don't want, just like you didn't want to take care of that 15-year-old that you barely had contact with, you don't want to be the sole provider for these kids. That's the problem. There we go, right there. There we go. If something happened to her, I don't want to be the only one stuck with these kids. Oh, boy. He reveals himself, ladies and gentlemen. He reveals himself. Here's another stink bug joining me. These stink bugs, I mean, they just moved in. They literally just moved in. This is their house now. Go ahead, this is your house. Go ahead, you got it. Unbelievable. I'm going to have to put some work in. Give me a second.
Basically, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm being, I don't know what you would say, accused or. I have 2 small kids. I'm sure you know. If something was to happen to her, I don't, I would be the only parent. I don't want to obviously have myself in any type of trouble. I did nothing wrong, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm not investigating you for a crime. I just.
Right, I know, but as far as like not saying something or I don't know how this all works or anything like that. But
well, if it turns out that, I get down the road and I find out that you've, point blank.
So he further reveals himself that he had guilty knowledge. He knew and understood that what he did was wrong and evil by not protecting his son and not saying anything. And now he's concerned that he might get in trouble for not cooperating and for lying to police. Dude, oh my gosh, I got to be careful what I say because I don't want to say nothing bad against this guy that's going to hurt him in his personal life. But people have to understand the character of the person that is working and living and interacting with you. I certainly would not want to work and be around a guy like this. This guy is trash. He is trash.
Intimidated him to not press charges or anything like that. That would be an issue, right? But as far as you not telling me what happened, I mean, though, or at least not wanting to tell me, everything in full detail, I find that a little concerning. But it's not necessarily against the law. I think what's most important for everybody would be to just tell the truth, the full truth from the beginning. Obviously I don't get to the point I'm at without a little bit of evidence.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so I just really wanted to, hear what you had to say. Because I have, a couple conversations where people have told me that you told them that you would be willing to tell the full story, and everything you know.
Right. And that's the thing too, is I basically told you the full story, as far as what I physically saw, but
it's my understanding there was a little bit more of a conversation that occurred between the two of you that night, where she told you a little bit more than that.
As far as Alexis telling me something?
Yes, during the argument that ensued when you got home.
Well, she said, you're a beta male and you don't please me. You please me so you don't please me at all to the point where I had to grape your kid. That's how much of a beta male you are. Look at you. I'm only with you because I need help with the mortgage. That's it. You're not a man. You're a beta male. That's what she said. That's probably what they had. The argument that they had. I guarantee you. Guarantee you that's what they had. I was there. I was a fly on the wall. Believe me. I was a stink bug on the wall watching their argument. And she basically said he's a beta male that can't please her. I'm telling you.
Right. And that was basically me asking what the hell's going on, and like I said, going back and forth is like a he said, she said stuff.
So she didn't
So
apologize.
It's like who do you believe at that point? I guess.
So she didn't apologize to you and make statements along the lines of, that she was sorry and that he looks like you.
Oh my God, that's nasty.
Oh God.
Are you kidding me? She said, "I'm sorry, he looks like you." Oh my God. Wow. And she got 2 years for this, guys. She's a pedophile. She is a pedophile through and through. She told him, "I'm sorry, he looks like you." As though this dude wasn't going to be home 5 minutes later where you could have did what you wanted with your actual husband. That's so nasty and diabolical that she would say that his 15-year-old looks like her, like him. Wow. And that dude stuck around. He stayed there. Wow. Nasty.
Is this like public record or?
So, in cases where investigations of unlawful sexual activity with minors, there's laws protecting, their information from being public record.
He basically used deception on this guy because this guy was concerned whether this conversation would be public record, which it is under Florida Sunshine Law. What the detective said is, we'll protect the identity of the victim because they're a minor. I like that. That was slick. It was not a lie. He just did not answer the question that this guy asked. He answered his own question. I like that. He deceived this dude. That was good.
I mean, as far as like statements go.
As far as their information, being involved and where he's directly involved with the incident, that would be not public record.
After learning more information, the detective pressed him to provide a full statement, asking about not just what he witnessed, but why he hadn't reported it.
I'm not here to embarrass you. I'm not.
Nah, this lady got 2 years, guys. That's it. I'll tell you right now, this thing is so riveting. We getting so much content. Just listen to these nasty people talk. The amount of time she has is not even as shocking as these conversations. I thought that the amount of time she got would be more shocking, but these conversations are more shocking. She got 2 years. 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. If that's not a miscarriage of justice, I don't know what is. 2 years she got.
I think that I can understand why you have cognitive dissonance about this, why losing her would represent a major upset in your life, not just as far as like your emotions, but the kids and everything that represents. But
exactly, and that's the big thing right there. I mean, that's the consequences that's going to have for my small children. So
whatever.
And that's basically
what a loser.
Where have been with this whole situation.
But can you at least answer that for me? Did she make statements to that effect?
I really think maybe I should speak with a lawyer or something.
You're not under arrest, you douchebag. Guys, hit that like button. We have 252 people watching us. Only 197 likes. We do need those likes to go up. We do appreciate it if you please put those likes up. Wow, this guy only cares about himself, really. He's a narcissist, if you ask me. I don't even think he cares about her. He cares what she does for him. He just wants a babysitter. He does not want to raise his children by himself. That is the only thing that matters to him. Protect her in order for her to watch those kids so he could go out there and do what he does on the line. Well, I hope you always remember to turn off the electricity, buddy. Please do remember to turn off the electricity when you're working on those lines, buddy.
Okay. I mean, you can if you want, but I get the feeling the answer is yes if you're not telling me no.
Does that make sense?
I just, I'm here to try to make sure that the truth is what's recorded. I'm not here to humiliate anybody. That's not my intention.
He's doing a good job
I'm not
humiliating
here
himself.
to ridicule anyone. When she was arrested this morning, she was treated with, all the respect we could give. She wasn't, treated poorly or anything like that. And I don't think going forward that's how it'll be. But I really would like your full statement, because you are not implicated in a crime. You are just essentially not giving me your witness statement of what you witnessed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which, when it comes to the sexual abuse of a child,
it's unfortunate.
Is obviously concerning.
It is.
Right.
It's very concerning. And just to give you guys a little education on the matter, even though he's asked for an attorney a number of times, he is not the subject of the investigation, so he's not entitled to an attorney. So when the detective says, okay, but we're not investigating you, that is the right answer. You're not entitled. You are only entitled to an attorney if you are the subject of the investigation and your statements can be used against you in a court of law. There's nothing that this guy did besides be a terrible dad and not protect his son that would have required him to have an attorney. He came home from work. He opened the door. He saw his wife abusing his son. He did nothing wrong besides take action to actually get his son protection and justice. Let's keep going.
Would you be willing to answer that question for me?
At the time that everything was going on, it was like so late at night, stuff like that. I don't really recall.
You don't recall?
That a specific statement like that being made.
He's lying. He's lying. He's lying.
Based off of the way you're kind of answering me, I think you do recall what was said, but I think you don't want to tell me. And I'm not meaning to be super confrontational about it. I just, I've been doing this a long time.
This is why you don't have these conversations on telephones. You don't have these conversations on telephones because people could just hang up the phone. He was supposed to have this conversation with this man in person. This is a conversation you probably could have had at his house, but I would have invited him down to the station house once again so that we could have this conversation in a soft interview room, similar to the soft interview room that Jennifer Soto was interviewed in during the Madeline Soto case. I don't understand why Florida detectives like to do these interviews on telephones, like to do these interviews at people's doors, like to do these interviews at people's cars. They like to do these interviews everywhere, but in a controlled environment where they're removing the power from their subjects and their witnesses and basically using the intimidation of the law to make these people cooperate. I don't understand why these aren't techniques that Florida likes to use. They do the opposite. Let's keep going.
No, I know, and I respect you. I really do. I just, I'm...
So somebody said they think that this was done over the phone because of how difficult it was to reach him. Now, I don't know what evidence you have of that, but that does not matter to me as a detective. I know where you work. I know the company you work for. I will go to your job. I know where you live. I will stake out your house and wait for you to come home from work. And then I will approach you as you're walking to your house. Okay? This interview doesn't have to be done right away. You could go to the guy's job and pull him to the side like, yo, listen, man, I only came here because you playing cat and mouse with me, man. Come to my office tomorrow so we could talk so that I don't have to do these things that embarrass you. You can also say that over the telephone. Like, listen, man, I don't want to come to your job. I really need to talk to you. I don't even want to come to your house and have your neighbors see me talking to you. Just come down to my office so we could talk about this. And then you don't have to talk to me again. All right? We're done. Oh, but I want to turn. You're not entitled to an attorney. You're a witness, bro. Right now, you're just a witness. You're just somebody. You're a victim as well. All right. But if you're not helping us, then you do become a perpetrator because you're basically not protecting your son. You're protecting the bad guy. Right now, you're the good guy. Right now, you're the hero. You're the one who found your son being abused by your wife. I need you to stand up for your son, but I don't want to embarrass you and I don't want to come in and infringe upon your life. All right. I don't want to make your life more difficult than it already is, that your son is a victim of sexual abuse and your wife is being arrested for being a perpetrator. You've been through enough, bro. All I need you to do is come down to the station house and talk to me so we could put this to bed. That's what I would tell this guy. That's what I tell him. I guarantee you he'd be down in the station house. How do I know that? Because I've done it 1,000 times and I continue to do it every single day that I clock into work. These are tried and tested and proven techniques that I didn't make up. These are techniques that detectives have been using for centuries. Why is Florida doing something different? I don't know. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what to do, and the implications of all this, I'm not sure if I should contact a lawyer and talk with them before I say anything, because now I'm getting a feeling that the person who's done nothing wrong is going to be, I don't know what could go wrong here.
Well, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not implicating you in any crime. I just, there were statements made to me like that you had perhaps put in an anonymous tip about this. Is that true?
No, I did not.
You did not?
No, sir.
Why did you not report what you saw?
Like I said, it was like, who do you believe at that point?
Yeah. Yes, but there were more statements she made to you than the ones than the one that you told me. It's less a question of did it happen, and it's more a question of who egged it on.
Right. So this is good because this detective has information, and I think she might have made confessions. I don't know, because there's only two people that was in the room. It was the son and her, and the statements he's getting are not statements that the son would have heard because he took the son home. And this is the argument that they had later on that night after he had returned to the home after dropping the son off and telling the son that the son ruined his life. So that means that she made statements and made confessions or whatever that the detective is now using to coerce him into telling the truth. This is really good. We'll see what his response is, but I want to just highlight something somebody in chat says. Ooh, just dropped my mouse. Hold on. I want to get that new MX4 Master 4 Logitech mouse, but it's $119. I think too expensive, man. I can't afford that. Let's keep going. So Jennifer Garay says, you know what I don't get? Why doesn't Florida take negligence seriously? Because not giving a statement when his son was sexually abused is negligence. And that's a really good point because we see that happening in Madeline Soto case too, where she was clearly a negligent parent and clearly put her daughter in a very dangerous situation by allowing her daughter to sleep with Stephen Stearns. And nothing came out of it. She was never charged. And I told you guys that they weren't going to charge her. And I got a lot of hate and a lot of flack for that. And I explained to you guys that they didn't have a will to charge her. Or rather, they didn't have the will to charge her. I told you guys that. And I also told you guys that Maddie was
dirt under the bridge.
She was dirt under the bridge to William J. I told you that. I said, listen, she dirt under the bridge.
Dirt under the bridge.
And people got mad at me and they said, no, they're going to charge her. You don't know what you talking about, strategic. 19 years of being a well, I haven't been a detective for 19 years, but 15 years of being a detective and 19 years in law enforcement is not nothing that make you know what you talking about. So you just need to be quiet there, buddy, because my favorite YouTuber said that she's going to get charged, and my favorite YouTuber's word is worth more than your word, professional detective. It is what it is. She's not charged. I don't know why Florida doesn't do that, guys. And it's heartbreaking because a lot of people need to be charged for being negligent with these children. Let's keep going.
Because whether or not it happened is not really in question at this point. So, that's why it'd be really important to help me understand where everybody's head was at the time that this occurred. But, if you're not wanting to really answer my questions right now, that's, not ideal, but it's okay, right? You have, freedom of speech, as far as me calling you on the phone right now. And I'm not here trying to ruin your day. I'm just here trying to help your son, who has, nobody really advocating for him. And that's kind of a tough thing to see. But if you change your mind, you'd like to give me a more complete...
She like 40. She got gauges in her ears, the black lipstick, the big wide eyes. You should have known, bro. You should have known, man. You should have known. Something ain't right here. Those wild eyes, those psycho eyes, you should have known, bro. I'd have seen her at the bar if I was single and I went the other way. She'd have bought me a drink. I'd have gave the drink back because I think it'd have been a drug in there or something. She'd have tried to drug me and take advantage of me. Those wild eyes cannot be trusted, ladies and gentlemen. And if you got wild eyes inside of the chat, I'm not talking about you. Or maybe I am. I don't know. I don't trust people with those wild eyes.
You're more than welcome to. You have my number, okay?
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yep. And again, I don't want to have ruined your day. Please don't let me have ruined your day. I hope you have a good day, and thank you for the work that you do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for the work that you do. Nah, man, you buttering him up too much, man. He's a lineman who doesn't give a crap about his son. So he could go take a bite out of one of them lines for all I care on a nice stormy day. This guy is trash.
Does that make sense?
He is trash. He did not cooperate. He did not stand up for his son.
Does that make sense?
Keep going.
And detectives end up speaking with the father again on December 3rd, 2024. And this time, he spoke much more openly. He first described the unsettling events leading up to the night that he came home, recalling how Alexis went from having a negative attitude toward his son.
All right, big shout out to Michael the Doberman. $2 super chat from Canada. Sending love from Vancouver Island. Thank you so much. The Doberman been a member for a long time, been a supporter for a very long time, and we got nothing but love for Lucifer the Doberman. That's the old name. Now it's Michael the Doberman. I think Lucifer passed away, their dog. So we're sorry that Lucifer passed away. But now you got Michael, the new Doberman dog. Let's keep going.
Suddenly wanting him around a lot more.
One thing I wanted to point out was before this had happened, she had a very negative attitude towards him. Basically didn't want him to be here. When we would talk about him coming down, it was, can he be here for a week? Can he be here for 2 weeks? Not 3 weeks or a month, or not for the whole summer, of course. That was like off the table. And then, so he was here for, I think, about 3 weeks. He was supposed to go home. She was... All
right, I just want to point out, notice he's cooperating now, but what's happening right now? They're face to face. They're face to face. They're actually talking to him in person. I'm telling you guys, it makes a difference. It makes a big difference. Okay? It makes a big difference.
She was basically wanting him to stay another week longer, which I thought was very odd. There was a lot of things that I thought that was very odd in that last week. As far as all of a sudden how she flipped a switch to like how she viewed him and what was going on. I had an uncomfortable feeling in my gut about it. So did other people.
The father described what he says was a shocking scene when he came home, detailing the moment he discovered his own son and wife in a sexual situation.
It's the handle. I walk in and I look over to my left and I see her sitting down. Her boobs are out. She's naked. And he was standing up, basically in a position where it looked like his waist level was at her head level. So I think
She was giving him a blowjob. This is crazy. That's horrible, man. And what he's describing is her grooming him over a period of time. This didn't just happen. This wasn't just one day of them hanging out and vaping THC and all that stuff. This happened over a period. I'm not saying that the assault happened. I'm not saying that she had contact with him. I'm not saying that. I don't have any evidence of that. But her attitude towards him started changing because she started feeling like she's attracted to him. Somebody in chat says that she's beautiful. I don't think she's beautiful, honestly, to be honest with you. This filters and all that stuff. You see her without all that makeup on and without the filters, she's not very pretty in my opinion, but you know, it's okay to say that she's pretty even though she's a pedophile. That's not a problem. I'm just saying I don't think she's pretty at all. This is a decent picture, but when you see her close up, she's not hot. But let's keep going.
I think she was performing oral sex when I walked in the door.
Were you able to see like his?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
You know, you're not walking in the door like.
Oh, of course.
You know,
yeah.
So, and then he immediately, what I think has happened is he pulled up his pants. It kind of looked like he pulled up his pants a little bit and he had jetted off to the bathroom. I go over to her and I'm immediately like, obviously I see her dress her out and I'm like, what the f*** is going on? I say that probably 20 different times, like, what the f*** is going on? She has this stupid expression on her face, just like a bewildered expression on her face. Doesn't say anything the entire time this is going on. She has a blanket over top of her lap. I go over there and I'm basically like, surely to God she's not naked. And so I walk over to her, still she's not saying anything, bewildered look on her face, and I snatch the blanket off of her lap and she is butt-ass naked. At that point I'm like, you know, just shocked. I know basically that something's been going on. So he comes out of the bathroom at this point. We're talking about stuff that's going on. I don't think she was really saying anything. And I said, I don't need you to come outside with me right now. My son, and I'm like, I bring him out there and I'm basically like, please God, like tell me exactly what's going on, exactly what happened, because I want to know everything that happened. And he proceeded to tell me that they had both had oral sex on each other. I felt like he was still hiding stuff. At that point, she's kind of coming back and forth.
Unbelievable. The son told him everything, man. He told him everything. It's disgusting. Big shout out to Rocket Man Texas with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Rocket Man, for supporting the channel. Son told him everything. At that point, you're supposed to hug him and say, man, it's all right, bro. I got you. And you're supposed to call the cops. And you're supposed to lock up that nasty woman. Supposed to lock up that nasty woman. I mean, yo, if my son is 19 and he do that to me, I'm going to be like, I'm going to choose my son over this woman. And he's an adult. He should know better. But I'm going to choose my son over that woman. He's a minor, man. And you chose this woman over your son. It's crazy. Let's keep going.
Outside the house to talk to me. And, you know, I'm obviously not wanting anything to do with her. And then the one thing that, like, struck me the most when this was all happening was she tried to come out there and basically say that it wasn't as bad as it looked, and I looked her right in her eye. I said, you and she looked right at me and like said, oh, I forgot you knew that. Was exactly what she said.
She said what?
I forgot you knew that.
Hold on.
She tried to come out there and basically say that it wasn't as bad as it looked, and I looked her right in her eye. I said, you and she looked right at me and like said, oh, I forgot you knew that. Was exactly what she said.
I forgot you knew that. So I wonder what he said. You did something. Obviously he said some type of sex act, and then she said, I forgot you knew that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Is she saying like, I forgot that you actually caught us doing that, so I can't say this lie? I don't know. That's really weird to me. Let's keep going though.
Then I took him to my dad's house, and it's just been a huge ordeal ever since. Which I regret the fact that I didn't just call the cops immediately.
And the father said that
you a piece of trash, bro. You can't come back from this one. Guys, on the members, I'm probably do it tomorrow because it's late. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a members only. I'm going to tell you guys the story of a father, of an investigation I did when I was in corrections. And listen, even I was in corrections, we did a lot of crazy cases that was like, you just the things that we did will blow your mind. And it was a very similar case. Of course, I had a corrections component later on, but it started out with a father walking into something happening to his son. Same exact story as this one, man. Bananas. And that father failed his son, just like this father. And the story will blow your mind. It's going to be for the members in the Patreon. I'm going to drop that tomorrow. Let's keep going.
Alexis tried to excuse her actions as just a loss of control. He says he didn't believe her.
She tries to act like she had just, lost control and blacked out or didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, you weren't even drinking, first of all. You were stone cold sober. There's so many details leading up to that night. It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Basically her attitude and everything that since this has happened, I'm just like, I'm done with.
So she was she was not remorseful at all since this has happened because she doesn't respect him. She doesn't. Michael the Doberman with a $2 super chat says that dad wanted to hook up. You being bad. I don't know about all of that. But this guy is definitely a beta male. He's probably jealous of his son, to be honest with you. This dude does not seem like a father that is sad that his son was victimized. He more so feels like somebody who got cuckolded, to be honest with you. And if this man looked at his son as a cuckold and not as a victim, then this guy truly is a sick, diabolical creature who should not be a father of any kids. And this is the thing I don't understand, right? You had a 15-year-old son whose life you had not been in through your own admission. You failed as a father for him. What gave you the right to feel like you should have had more babies? It's always the lowlives that have more children. Really doesn't make sense to me at all. Never makes sense to me. You failed at being a father the first time, and then you went and became a father 2 more times. Why? I don't understand it. Rocket Man celebrating 1 month as a patrol level says, loving Strategic's content. Well, I love you too for watching me, man. I'd be talking to the ether, talking to myself if it wasn't for folks like you. It wasn't that long ago that we didn't have 251 people in the room. We just had 25 people in the room. It was like that for a long time. Ask Lucifer the Doberman, a.k.a. Michael the Doberman. She was one of those 25. Ask Erica B., one of those 25. Ask David, one of those 25. And now we got a lot. We'll never forget where we came from, and we'll also never forget that we're here because of you. You people is what make this show possible, and we appreciate you immensely. Let's keep going, man.
Trying to, I was gonna say like protect her, but I'm done with the whole situation. I just wanted to go in it.
Well, and all that should happen, right, is that the truth should come out, and that's what's going to allow everyone to move on. Everyone tells the truth, and then we can move on, right? Whatever that's going to entail, we'll get through that, and then life will continue. Now, did you have further conversations with her about it? Did she admit to anything beyond the oral to you?
Just give it up, bro. Give it up.
No, she did not. I don't believe her at all. Just my gut feeling, like I said again, I think that they had sex. But no, she would never admit that to me.
Did she make any statements to you about why it happened?
Yeah. Yeah, she said multiple times she's told me how much he looked like me.
Just generally or specifically?
No, what she had told me was that it was kind of dark and that he looked so much like you.
Okay.
He looked like her. I also can guarantee you that she's been cheating on this guy for a long time. This cuck right here. This beta male. I guarantee you that she has cheated on him with a lot of men. It's my opinion. I have no evidence of it, but this is not a faithful person. And I guarantee you I don't know if she specializes in going after young people the age of his son, but I guarantee you this guy's working as a lineman. He's working late hours. The neighbors getting it. Colleagues at the hospitals getting it. Dudes on Tinder getting it. They're getting it. And unlike this young man who was living with them for the summer, those dudes are in the house and out. And this guy never knew. In and out. She's hypersexual. She said she didn't have sex in 2 weeks, and that was her first excuse as to why she did what she did. 2 weeks. She's hypersexual. I guarantee you she has not been faithful to this beta male a single day in their marriage. I guarantee you he probably was in on some of it, to be honest with you. This weak male is probably the type of guy that likes watching other guys put the moves on his wife. He's one of those cuckold type guys. That's a feeling I get. I have no evidence of it. But this beta male who would not stand up for his own son, who chose his wife over his son almost until the bitter end. Almost until the bitter end, till he finally gave it up. He's probably one of those cuckold guys that likes to watch other guys be with his wife. Guarantee you. Big shout out to Michael the Doberman with a $5 super chat. So proud of how far you have come. Keep doing the Lord's work and informing all of us about these situations we need to avoid. I will always send love. Thank you so much, Michael Doberman. Thank you for proving to me how much you support this channel, for being with this channel for so long. For so long. You need not say anymore because your constant support of this channel proves it, and we appreciate you. Big shout out to Brenda Walker as well for joining us on a recruit level. You are amazing. You guys are amazing. Let's keep listening to this cuck.
Type of thing. I know what she said to the other girls.
Okay, but she never made
I'm being disrespectful. I'm not lying. But how am I supposed to respect a man who betrayed his own son, who walked in on his son being abused and chose his wife over his son? How am I supposed to respect a guy like that? So yeah, I'm being mean. I'm calling him a cuck. I don't care. It's late night. It's 1 a.m. at the recording of this live. I'm wilding out. I don't care.
Comments about his anatomy or anything like that?
No, not to me.
Okay.
Obviously, I had heard what she had told the other girls. I had confronted her about that many times, and she basically said, which I already knew, she wasn't doing it in like a braggadocious way. She was doing it in a way that was trying to defend her actions and what she did. Mm-hmm. The things he was saying, the size of his blah, 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 you know.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what she told her husband that his son had a bigger wee-wee than him? And you guys think I'm being mean for calling this guy a beta male and a cuck? You guys think I'm being mean for calling this guy a beta male and a cuck? She told him the reason why I did it is because he had a big wee-wee. Your son had a big wee-wee. Oh my God. Oh hell no. Let's keep going.
Like, basically, like he seemed older and more mature than he was.
So what happened? Well, Alexis Von Yates was originally charged with lewd or lascivious battery, but then prosecutors upgraded that charge to sexual battery by a person in familial custody. That's a first-degree felony carrying up to life in prison. The fallout didn't stop there, though, because in April of 2025, the Florida Department of Health suspended her nursing license. And there were...
So what I tell you guys, that Florida has very tough laws on these pedophiles, but they don't use them. So they charged her initially with a charge that would have sent her to prison for life. They settled due to plea bargain on a charge that gave her 2 years. How do we go from life to 2 years? If then it gave her like 10 years, 7 to 10 years, I'd been like, okay, cool. All right. Then it gave her 15 years, 1 year for every single year of this young man's life. I get that. She went from life to 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. That's the problem with Florida. Their lawmakers know how to make great laws, but their criminal justice system does not follow through with the laws that their lawmakers make. It's not the lawmakers' fault. They made the laws. They put it on the books. The tools are there. But then you get people like William J. who don't go for the death penalty, and they just give Stephen Stearns life in prison, even though he essayed and murdered a little girl. You get people like the Marion County District Attorney, where this case happened, where they charge her initially with life with the possibility of life, but they settle with 2 years. So what's the point of having tough laws if you never actually do anything with them? Let's keep going.
Miss Yates' decision to engage in sexual activity with a minor child and or her decision to allow a child to engage her in oral and penetrative sex indicates that she lacks the good judgment and moral character necessary to be a registered nurse. Therefore, Miss Yates' continued practice as a nurse presents a risk of immediate, serious danger to the health, safety, and welfare of the public.
It's a fact.
And then came the official sentencing. So instead of heading to trial on September 16th, 2025, Alexis Von Yates stood in court and agreed to a plea deal. She avoided a life sentence. She pleaded guilty to that lesser charge, lewd or lascivious battery on a child aged 12 to 16. And her sentence, 2 years in state prison,
2 years,
10 years probation, 200 hours of community service with Marion County Solid Waste Litter Control. She has to register as a sex offender. No contact with the victim during her entire sentence. The judge said he signed off on the plea in part to spare the victim from having to testify in open court, writing that forcing him to recount these traumatic details in front of a jury would cause, quote, undue re-traumatization. The victim's mother told the court that Alexis was a coward and an incestuous pedophile. She also said her son's relationship with his father has been destroyed, claiming the two haven't spoken since all this happened.
He should never speak to his father again. He should never, ever speak to his father again. If his father wants to try and repair it, then sure. If he wants to say he's sorry, if he wants to admit, son, I was a coward. All right, we can start there. But that boy should never reach out to that father. I'm not saying they shouldn't have a relationship. I feel like all relationships should be repaired. But that son should never reach out to that father, because that father betrayed him. He said to that son in the car, you destroyed my life. You told your son that your son destroyed your life, my friend. Shame, kid. Shame. You lived with a woman who told you that the reason why she abused your son is because he looked like you and he had a bigger wee-wee than you. And when the cops called you to try and get you to help your son, you said, I don't know nothing, I want an attorney. After she told you that she did what she did to him because he looked like you and he had a bigger wee-wee than you. You don't deserve that son. You're a cuck and a beta male. The worst example of a man on a planet. Let's keep going.
Alexis Von Yates, once a trusted nurse, she is now a convicted sex offender, serving prison time, stripped of her license, her career, and according to her own family members, her integrity. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody.
Yo, big shout out to Jesse Weber. Law & Crime did a really good job with this one. I mean, they always usually do a good job, but they did a real exceptional job. I like the way they cut it together. We got just what we needed. Really good job. I'm going to post the court documents on the Patreon, so go over to the Patreon, join the Patreon, get the exclusive content, and you also get stuff like court documents, right? So please go over to Patreon. I'm going to post that stuff for free because I didn't pay anything to get those court documents. So if you just join for free on the Patreon, you'll be able to get those court documents. But at the same time, if you want additional content, you're going to have to subscribe. And you have to pay $5 if you want the additional bonus content that we produce on the Patreon. Wow. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate you guys showing love. That was so thorough. I don't even need to read this stuff that we had from the New York Post and all that stuff. This one right here talks about the license getting suspended and all that good stuff. We don't even need to do that. Look at her in court. I told you she got those wild, crazy eyes. You know? She's not even pretty. With a small mouth. Anyway, so we don't need to talk about that. They did an amazing job on Law & Crime. We're good to go. So, guys, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Please hit that like button on your way out the building so we can get into that algorithm. And make sure that you consider becoming a member of the YouTube channel and also of the Patreon. And lastly, when this video is over, you might see a hype button. Please hit that hype button like your life depends on it. Hit that hype button so we can get put into that algorithm so we can get on that YouTube recommendation page. All right, let me get the hell out of here, guys. You guys have been amazing. I really appreciate it. So close to 100,000. Subscribe to the channel so we can get to 100,000. Strategic is out of here. As we on that ass news. Peace. All right, I got to stop doing this. Like when the show is over, I come back on when it's over. I just have to show love to Brenda Walker, who's now a recruit, and to Krista Van Turenberg, who gave us 1 gift membership. When people break bread with the show, we got to show them love. So I don't like to end the show and not shout people out who have taken the time to break bread with the show and help us keep us afloat. So big shout out to Krista Van Turenberg. Whoever got that free gift membership, make sure you thank her in the chat. I'll see you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here.